So in today's class for Discovers, let's start with the intro. The intro, we want to point out an important fact of chess. We want to say that if your opponent is touching a piece to move it, watch where the piece lands. Because if the piece landed here, you do know that that bishop is there for a reason. He's going to attack your rook. And so what do? You look at all the pieces that this most recent piece has moved and can attack, and you move accordingly. Right? There's no point looking at this remote corner rook which has not moved in ages to see what it can attack. Because before your move, you're supposed to look at all the free pieces you can take and all the free pieces that you're giving out. And in either case, right, you want to make sure that this guy, the most recently moved guy, has no attack. And if he does have an attack like this, what do? You do CPR. You either capture this piece, or you block this attack, or you run away. Remember, CPR is not just for the kings, you could use it for any pieces. Now in the Discover, it's a little different. So if you look at what we just did, we saw a piece out here, we moved a piece, and when we moved this piece, we explicitly had an intention of attacking with the piece we just moved. But in Discover, it's not like that. For a Discover is a kind of a stealth tactic. For example, I have a boxing hand. It's going to come straight at your nose, right? It's going to come straight at your tummy, and there is another hand right behind it. When you're focusing on my first hand, the second hand goes and hits your nose.
That's a very good way of saying it.
So that's exactly what Discover does. So this is Discover. I have a front piece and I have a back piece. My front piece is where everybody is looking at. Your eyes are on my front piece. I'm going to punch you in the tummy with my front piece. So what would you do? Thank you. So what would you do? You would try and deflect the punch from the front piece. But right behind the front piece is this back piece. And the back piece is not aiming at your tummy. It's aiming at your nose. So while you're trying to deflect this piece off, the piece in the back is going to go straight at your nose. And that is Discover. Because you have a Discover attack from the back piece while you were busy dealing with the front piece. As an example, let us say that there is... Okay. Let's say you have a queen there and a rook there, right? And let's say that you have these two like this. And again, I'm just making up cases, but you have the exact piece for you in your books. Okay, actually, I'll also see if I can do it this way. Yeah. So here, I'm gonna go attack that piece there. When I went there, I had an explicit idea for attacking your rook, but there was a piece right behind it. Because remember, this piece was blocking the rook, right? When I attacked the rook from there, I actually am unleashing an attack on your queen with my rook here. I don't want your rook now. Although my front piece was going at your rook, the piece in the back was going at your queen. So if you try to defend the rook and if you try to attack it there, I'm not going to save that. Instead, I'm going to go straight down here and get this. So this is a Discover attack. In a Discover attack, the piece that is moved, and the piece that is just moved, has been moved so that it can get out of the way so that the piece behind it can attack. A Discover attack occurs when a piece moves to reveal an attack by the second piece, or by the piece behind it, right? So I'm just reading the definition up here. A discovered attack occurs when a piece moves to reveal an attack by the second piece. And I think if you were doing these actions in the class, then the front punch and the back punch would make it more easy to understand. The front punch is what everybody is looking at, but the back punch is what you're going to do, right? And that's exactly what this is. Now, we could have done this in two different ways. There are two types of Discover attacks. Now, if you see, a Discover attack usually involves two pieces, the front piece and the back piece. The front piece gets out of the way, and the back piece does the attack. Now, if I just took it there and left it there, is this attacking anything? The front piece has no attack. So how many attacks do we have going on right now?
Just one.
Just one. We call that a single attack discovery. A single attack discovery is where the front piece is slid out. You move the front piece out to expose the attack from the back piece, and the front piece is not attacking. A double attack discovery is where both the front piece and the hidden piece attack simultaneously. An example of a double attack discovery is you take this guy and go all the way to the end, and the front piece is attacking, and so is the back piece. Right? So this is a double attack discovery. Now what do you think? Is a single attack discovery better, or is a double attack discovery better?
Double.
Because you are going to get a piece no matter what. Because if he tries to save his queen and goes away, he'll still get that piece. A double attack discovery is very important. When you're doing a discovery attack, watch for the front piece. You want to make sure that the front piece can also attack. So in this case, when the front piece can also attack, and so can the back piece, and so does the back piece, then that's more powerful. A very common mistake. Yes, so we'll talk about the check case. So a very common mistake, and she wrote most of this. So a very common mistake that kids do is they look at this really cool move, but they stop just short of it. Right? A real cool move is not doing the discover with the back piece, but also attacking the front piece. Now, if one of those two pieces happens to be the king, now let's say that we switch them around, and we have a king, and now it's the same discover attack. One of them is the king there. With a single attack, I'm going to go check. In a check, you have to take care of your king first, because at the end of your turn, your king should be safe. And so, because your king has to be safe in a check and you can't capture or block the check, you move away, and then this becomes a sitting duck. You get that right away. Discovers are far more lethal when either the front piece or the back piece happens to be a king, happens to attack a king. And this was here.
See, this thing moved away, and this guy takes it back.
Oh yeah. So let's say that this was here. Obviously, so in the double attack discovery, without a king, you would probably move away. And then you get this piece. That's 5 points. And in return, you lose it. Now is this a good move where you lost 3 points?
No.
What do you
Yes.
think, Chris?
I think it's a good move. You lost a 3 point for a
But
5
the way you
point.
said it.
Yeah. I told you, right?
Yes, you did.
So is this good for you to have lost 3 points?
Yeah.
Yeah, because you're actually getting
The rook.
5 in the bargain.
Got it.
Right? So go back there. Let's try to do this again. I go there to attack it, and he sees the discover, and he goes away, and then you capture this piece only to lose 3 points. You've just lost 3 points, but you've gotten your 5 points. So some of these have too many pieces in them, like this guy. I would strongly suggest that you don't do these at all on the board. If you want to
Or
do
ask kids to help you set up the puzzle.
it'll take forever. You do like 2 puzzles max in 25 minutes,
Okay.
right? So we talked about double attacks and single attacks, but this is where we should just try over the weekend and see if we can give out the sheet protectors and all. And if it works out, then we'll just do these.
That what the example says here.
So the
Moral of the story. Like,
there's the moral of the story there. Oh wow, nice write up. I finished the whole thing in one page, and she made it all good. So double attack discoveries are more powerful, and I think starting here, these are like very few pieces, and we can probably arrange a few of these. Let's see if I can do the first one. Somebody's timing me. This is a good time to time me.
I think this one's timing you. I need to change the batteries.